In the depths of the Texas jail system, a mastermind orchestrated a series of daring escapes that would leave even the most seasoned authorities bewildered. Meet Stephen J. Russell, a clever genius who broke free from prison not once, not twice, but a staggering 4 times in less than 5 years. Each escape was more intricate and brilliant than the last, with the final one pushing the boundaries of ingenuity. Our story begins in the early 1990s, with Stephen leading a peaceful life as an accountant. He was a model citizen with a spotless record and a promising future ahead of him. However, his world was turned upside down when his manager unfairly fired him. This incident ignited a fire within him, transforming him from a law-abiding citizen to a person consumed by anger and hatred towards the system. The injustice he felt was palpable, and he became determined to take matters into his own hands. Stephen's intelligence and charisma enabled him to become a skilled fraudster, targeting insurance companies with elaborate scams. He was a chameleon, blending in with his surroundings and adapting to any situation. His quick wit and silver tongue allowed him to talk his way out of trouble, and he soon found himself embroiled in a world of deceit and corruption. In 1992, one of his fraudulent operations was exposed, and he was apprehended by the authorities. Sentenced to 6 months in prison, Stephen had no intention of serving his full term. He began devising an escape plan, closely observing the guards and workers, studying their routines and movements. He discovered a simple method to deceive the guards and make his way out of the prison. Stephen's first escape was a success, and he adopted a new identity, finding refuge in Florida. He lived a life of luxury, surrounded by the trappings of wealth and success. However, fate had other plans for him. During a daring heist involving insurance check forgery, his luck ran out, and he was captured again. Sent back to Houston, Texas, Stephen found himself back in the heart of the judicial storm. Determined to break free from the cycle of escape and capture, Stephen made a life-altering decision. He decided to serve his sentence in prison, especially since the remaining term was less than a year. Upon his release, he took up a job as a humble grocery store worker, but it couldn't quench his thirst for something more significant. He wanted to seize a life of luxury and fortune, and with steely determination, he charted a new course. Stephen set his sights on a grander scheme, orchestrating a massive fraud operation that would secure his financial freedom indefinitely. He forged his biography, embellishing it with impressive degrees and qualifications, and landed a job as a financial manager in one of the most prestigious health insurance companies in America. He was a master of disguise, adopting a new persona and convincing everyone around him of his legitimacy. However, his luck eventually ran out, and he was exposed. A foolish move led to his capture, and he was sent back to prison. But Stephen refused to accept his fate. He had no intention of remaining imprisoned, and within less than 2 months of his arrest, he began executing a daring and unconventional escape plan. With nerves of steel, Stephen seized an opportunity within the prison walls, dialing the number for the Harris County Records Office. He boldly claimed to be Judge Charles Ham, the very judge who had presided over his case, and convinced the office employee to modify his parole bail from $950,000 to $45,000. The audacity of his plan was staggering, and it was a testament to his cunning and resourcefulness. Stephen faced a race against time to procure the remaining $45,000, knowing that any suspicious movement might catch the authorities' attention. He devised a plan to contact a prisoner financing company, bending their policies to pay his bail. However, The authorities soon became aware of his ruse, and he was caught and arrested once again. Sentenced to 40 years in prison, Stephen didn't plan on serving his entire sentence. He knew he would escape again, no matter the circumstances. This time, they transferred him to a maximum security prison in Texas, where the authorities were forewarned about his cunning and potential attempts to deceive them. But Stephen was not deterred. He observed and devised a new plan, noticing the presence of a medical wing within the prison. He transformed his clothes into the same shade of green as the medical professionals, and on Friday, December 13, 1996, he executed his plan. With unwavering confidence, he approached the guard, convincing her to open the prison door for him, and Stephen became a free man once again. However, he knew he had to leave the vicinity quickly before his escape was discovered. He persuaded a homeowner to give him a ride, claiming to be a doctor who worked at the prison. And with that, Stephen vanished into the night, leaving behind a trail of intrigue and deception that would be remembered for years to come. As the authorities scrambled to recapture him, Stephen began to lay low, adopting a new identity and blending in with his surroundings. He knew that his freedom was temporary, and he had to plan his next move carefully. He began to gather resources, amassing a small fortune and building a network of allies who would aid him in his future endeavors. Stephen's legend grew, with whispers of his daring escapes and cunning schemes spreading like wildfire through the criminal underworld. He became a mythic figure, a ghost who haunted the shadows and struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. As the years went by, Stephen's legend continued to grow. He became a master of disguise, adopting new identities and personas with ease. He was a chameleon, blending in with his surroundings and adapting to any situation. His intelligence and cunning allowed him to stay one step ahead of the authorities, always managing to evade capture. But Stephen's greatest escape was yet to come. In 2005, he was arrested once again, this time for a string of high-stakes frauds that had netted him millions of dollars. He was sentenced to 144 years in prison, a sentence that would keep him behind bars for the rest of his life. He began to devise a new escape plan, one that would require all of his cunning and resourcefulness. He spent months gathering information, studying the prison's security systems, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And then, on March 13th, 2005, Stephen made his move. He walked out of the prison, dressed in a guard's uniform, and disappeared into the night. The authorities were stunned, unable to believe that Stephen had managed to escape once again. The manhunt was on, with police and FBI agents scouring the country for any sign of Stephen, but he was long gone, vanished into the shadows like a ghost. He had pulled off the impossible, escaping from a maximum security prison and leaving behind a trail of confusion and chaos. As the years went by, Stephen's legend continued to grow. He became a mythic figure, a symbol of cunning and resourcefulness. His escapes were the stuff of legend, with many believing that he had supernatural powers. But Stephen was just a man with a genius-level intellect and a determination to be free. He had outsmarted the authorities at every turn, always staying one step ahead of the law. And as he disappeared into the night, one thing was certain: Stephen J. Russell would always be remembered as one of the greatest escape artists of all time. In the end, Stephen's story is one of intelligence, cunning, and determination. He was a master of disguise, a chameleon who could blend in with his surroundings and adapt to any situation. He was a genius, a man with a mind that was always working, always scheming, always planning. And in the end, it was his intelligence and cunning that allowed him to escape, to outsmart the authorities and live a life of freedom and luxury. Stephen J. Russell was a true original, a man who defied the odds and lived life on his own terms. His story is a testament to the power of the human mind, A reminder that with determination and intelligence, anything is possible, even the impossible. Here we reach the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, click the bell icon to receive notifications for new videos.